Brief DVM's coming at you with getting ready for winter on the farm. Everybody always asks what it takes, and it takes a lot more than just working with equipment, but today I thought I'd show you how I grease up the front end of the loader that we use on the big tractor, and how we get it attached, and then how we put our Sno-Way plow on the front of it, and then we put the big blower on the back end of it. This is how it's sitting in the barn. It's sitting unattached from the blade. This is the John Deere 5090R loader. This is my Sno-Way V plow, and then that is the Frontier SB156 or whatever it is rear snowblower. And what I basically do is I take the big tractor and I drive right into this. It's pretty neat how John Deere has made this. The barn is rather tight. I've got to get past the horse trailer and a big flatbed trailer here, and just take my time and come into it. I bring the tractor, the 590R, into it nice and slow. I do some checking to make sure I line up, make sure that my latches are open on the 540R loader so it attaches to it. I've already kind of greased it up where it needs to land into its receptacles. And basically what I'm doing is perfectly driving into this to get my arms to attach. They won't always lock in 100%, so what I'll do is I'll get it so it's almost 90% in, and then I'll hook up my hydraulics, and then I'll kind of bump myself forward as I tip my hydraulics a little bit to just leverage it right into my locking position. Once I get this done, folks, I literally go another 2 feet, and I hook right up to the Sno-Way, and then I hook the hydraulics up on that, and then I basically back out, turn around and back in, and use my 3-point to pick up the big Frontier rear blower. And I'm basically ready for winter. This has worked really well for us on the farm for the last few years. I can't say enough about having a plow and a tractor that has a V ability, both to angle forward to bank snow and of course to put yourself in a V mode to break through those big drifts. That just, it makes it so nice to work with. So here, as you can see, I just got to come into this exactly perfect. It takes a little time to do it. I would suggest not rushing when you just drive into your loader. I know, on the Deere commercials, everybody just flies into these things. But I only have to do this, once a year. So taking it off is easy. Putting it back on is always a little more tricky. So here I'm just about into it where I want to be. I just need to bump it a hair more, and then I'm right where I need to be. I can get out now. I can take the hydraulics here on the left-hand side and put those in. Once I have the hydraulics in, I can finish a little bit of tapping with the hydraulics to get it in the locked position, which is basically what I want to do. And then once it's locked in position, I can grab the Sno-Way. I would say the whole process probably takes me about maybe 15 minutes to get the loader on, probably another 10 minutes to get the Sno-Way on, and another 10 minutes. I'm probably putting in a good half hour, 45 minutes getting this done by the time I get everything in place. So here the loader's on the front of it now. As you can see, it's got the universal mounts on this loader. I did that on purpose because everything on the farm is made for the skid steers. It's got the hydraulics there. I've got the hydraulics now hooked up over here, and I've basically got to hook up my electric switch that goes to the hydraulics in the front so I can switch between the right and the left when I want to close or open the V plow. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get my fingers around there to get the plug up. The GoPro camera here that I'm using, I'm just getting used to, folks, and having it on myself is a little more unique. So my footage isn't always perfect, but again, I'm getting used to this camera help, and basically I got to plug this into here, and like that, and that communicates to the little switch on front of my Sno-Way, which switches which way the hydraulic cylinders work, and I've got the switch up in the cab. So now the hydraulics are basically on the tractor, which is great. I checked the hoses to make sure nothing is going to hit the muffler system of the tractor, make sure there's no lines hanging down, make sure everything's zip tied tight. I make sure that my heater plug-in cord is secure and okay so that I can warm the tractor up in the winter when I'm ready and make sure all the cords are out of the way. And then basically I'm off to hook up, I pick up my legs obviously too on the loader. I'm off to hook up the Sno-Way. So back into the cab, we go. And in this case, I'll probably have my wife just drive it forward, because the universal lock on these has to be done by hand, or in this case by foot. And she'll put the loader down here and she'll bring it forward for me, and I'll just kind of guide her. It's easier with two people, because when you're in the tractor, seeing this little groove that you have to hit, not always the easiest. In a skid steer, it's right in front of your face and it's a piece of cake to do. But when you're doing it with the loader, literally 5 feet below you, it can be a little tricky. So I'm just going to give her some hand motions here and some signals as to where to go, to hopefully line up in there and get exactly in the right spot. And of course, believe it or not, this plow is light enough where I can, get on the end of it and, kind of torque it around a little bit if I have to, and, kind of get it into position just a little bit easier for her. So it doesn't take too much skill to do it, but again, you can't see it as easy as you think. So again, two people would be the suggestion I have. I got to make sure that the hoses are out of the way before she drives in. I don't want to, cut any of those off. There are front hydraulics here that we have to hook up to, and she's got to get in here just nice and perfect. Once she gets in, she can pick it up, and then once she picks it up, I'll lock it down. So here she's got it now. We're just checking to make sure it's in position. She's going to tip it back, and then once she gets it tipped back enough that I get my feet on it and see if I can get these locked down. You can do these by hand if you want, but I don't like the fact that they can spring up and hurt you. Just gonna have her adjust it here a little bit so I can get that last arm to go down. Sometimes just how it's hanging on the bucket, there we go, makes it work the best. Once she gets it to that point, I've got to hook up the hydraulics on this. It's basically an electrical cord from the tractor, and then a hydraulic return and hose for the cylinders, and that works then pretty good. I always make sure when I hook up my hydraulic hoses that I think about the full range of motion. I test it and make sure that I use zip ties that can break away so that I don't cut a hose. A little bit of mud on this from last year yet when we put it away, but here it is just as we finish getting it hooked up in the barn. I'm going to pull this beast outside. The 5090R has already had its fall oil change. The loader has been lubed up, which is great for the back end. The big Frontier is pretty much ready to go. And then we just sit back and wait for the snow to come in. It should come in pretty fast and hard here soon. So we look forward to be able to use it. Here it is outside. It's in great shape, folks. I love my front V-blade. Having the back blower is a necessity around here for certain storms, but not used all the time. And the 5090R handles this great. This is how we get ready for winter. The snowplower is ready to go. I'm ready now for the snow, so bring it on, Minnesota. Thank you for watching, folks. Please like and subscribe and keep watching our videos. Appreciate it.